if that bill has been passed into law that criminalize estimated billing, in fact, it is in the wisdoms of the NERC that they came about capping. We keep on coming back to capping. In order to do what? To facilitate. If you read the law of capping, it stated there that it is to facilitate the metering of the consumers. That is why in one paragraph of that law, it says that any consumer that refuses to be metered will be disconnected until it's metered. That means not being metered or refuse to be metered is an offense even on your own side as a consumer. The only good thing that I saw Asabe Amila doing was to make sure that he criminalized estimated billing. But today, do you know that bill has not been passed by the Senate? I've written to Honorable Asabe Amila, I think twice, that sir, you use your office as the majority leader of House of Rep to make sure that that bill remain passed in 2018 or 2019 before you left and come back as the speaker. How come you cannot use your office to influence the Senate to make sure that that bill become passed? Like I always say, and I'm saying it, the Nigerianness in us will always lead us to corruption. By virtues of the act or the directive or order on map, it says that after survey and you pay, you have only 10 days before you are metered. That by virtues of the cap me they did while Minister Fashola was there in 2016, which says that consumer will pay 64,000 naira, and when you pay that 64,000 naira, Disco will meter you. When Disco did not meter you in 60 days time, you are not supposed to pay for usage, and you are not supposed to be disconnected. And in that provision, it says that 64,000 naira you pay will be deducted from the recharge that you are making. That is, when you recharge, instead of giving you 10 units, they will give you 100 units. That will have covered part of the money that you use to purchase that meter. But unfortunately, the Nigerians still enter into it. I can say with all sense of responsibility that there are consumers today that pays to discourse, yet there is no blood, there is no mirror, no meter, no refund of the money, and they still bill them. Capping is a way of cautioning imaginary, exorbitant, and skyrocketed kind of kilowatt issuing to people monthly, which is not in tandem and in correspondence with the usage. Settlement and consumer mechanisms of resolving issue is also a schedule under electricity consumer protection. Under electricity forum or power sectors act 2005. In one of the provisions, I think that's section 9 or section 10 subsection 1 of that, it says it is the discourse that will provide the office for the forum staffers.
That is a very sad one, sir. That's very sad.
So that is the area I saw when I was going through, because I told you, I said I eat, I drink, and I digest all these laws as it relates to my job as the National Coordinator of Electricity Consumer Protection Forum. That is why you cannot meet me by surprise. When you ask of anything that relates to this, I will tell you. It is for you to go and check it. In that schedule, it was stated that it is the discourse of that area that will provide accommodation for all the members of the NERC forum. So, by virtues of the law of nature, he who paid the pipe dictate the tone.
Yes, sir.
That is the first thing that I consider as an error. That you want me to bring the matter of somebody that offended me to the office you created to adjudicate on my matter, and it is the same person that provide the office for me to, for the people I'm coming there to meet to use. Of course, except the person there are really a kind of a consumer friendly people.
Angels.
No, consumer friendly,
angels.
because if somebody like me or anybody from out that is there, I don't care whether you are the one that even buy the whole house. You understand my point? So, but I look at it as there is no way that there will be no conflict of interest, so to say, because the person that provided, if the forum keep on giving judgment, giving directive that is against the disco that we brought before them, at the end of the day, by the next renewal of the office, they will tell you they don't have money now. Do you understand? Even though it is an act provision, they will tell you they don't have money now. You understand my point? So that is the area where I find it difficult, that it will be very hard for people. And I've had occasion that people will even get judgment there and the disco will not implement it. Yes. We have brought some into this office to our group and say, we got judgment to see so thing, but this disco failed to implement it. That disco failed to implement it. That disco failed to implement it. And what I will always advise them is that go back to the forum and let the forum know that the judgment they passed, they have not been obeyed. Because in the provisions of consumer settlement and mechanism for intervention, it is stated that if you are not satisfied, either it is consumer or the disco, you can appeal to NERC to review whatever judgment they give at the forum. Are you getting my point? So I will ask whether they have written to the NERC at Abuja to know whether that thing is not, they are not satisfied, so that it will subject to review. But some of the time they will not even write any appeal. The only thing they discover that the disco will not obey that thing. So those are the areas where problems lies. The NERC forum are active, but being active is different from being successful. Yes, when somebody is active, you can also be effective but being successful. Once people are not feeling the effect of your activism, it doesn't amount to anything. That is why some of the time when I have issue or some of the group member come with any this thing, the first thing I do is to copy NERC Abuja. Sometimes Dr. Moses Arigu will say, Oga Sam, but have these people go to the forum? I will tell them going to the forum is more or less like a waste of time. The law says that when you send something to the forum, within 15 days, you must be replying. In fact, within 3 days, the secretary must acknowledge the receipt of your letter. Then within 15 days, you must have been able to know when your matter will be taken up. But many people have filed at the forum 6 months, 3 months. They wait and wait. They did not receive anything. So, and I will say that these things are becoming frustrating, and I will not want a situation whereby these people will take laws into their hand. That's why I quickly have to forward it to you. So understand, sometimes he will attend to it. They will say, Ogasam, even we are going to do it, but let them first of all say and forward to NERC forum in their area. What I'm saying is that as effective as the mechanism put on ground could have been, Nigerians have entered.
But sir, how can we remove that stupid clause that allows the discos to provide the office for the arbiter of justice in this matter? How can we exclude it? It's painful.
Whether the adjustment or amendment being done to the Power Sector Reform Act 2005 by the National Assembly now, whether they have been able to go to that level and review it. You understand? Some of these things is because it concerns consumers. That's why I have them at the back of my hand. The only good thing that I saw Asabe Amila doing was to make sure that he criminalized estimated billing. But today, do you know that bill has not been passed by the Senate? I've written to Honorable Asabe Amila, I think twice. that, sir, you use your office as the majority leader of House of Rep to make sure that that bill remain passed in 2018 or 2019 before you left and come back as the speaker. How come you cannot use your office to influence the Senate to make sure that that bill become passed? Since 2018 that bill has become passed in the House of Rep, is still on the table of the National Assembly Senate till today. And I can see the rate at which they used to pass appropriation bill that they know that they have about something billion naira in there. This is part of what I call Nigerianness. Do you understand? So if that bill has been passed into law that criminalize estimated billing, in fact, it is in the wisdoms of the NERC that they came about capping. We keep on coming back to capping. In order to do what? To facilitate. If you read the law of capping, it stated there that it is to facilitate the metering of the consumers. That is why in one paragraph of that law it says that any consumer that refuses to be metered will be disconnected until it's metered. That means not being metered or refuse to be metered is an offense even on your own side as a consumer.
But sir, they appeal for metering in some of these discos, especially Ikeja Electric, and for 3 months. This morning I still spoke to 2-3 landlords. Some have been expecting their meter for 3 months, some 5 months, even some are going to 8 months.
Last year.
Since last year, which time was your own landlord expecting his?
That was around
November last year. And there was another man we saw the other day went to investigate, Fred, that been looking for his own since October last year. Sir, what does it? They tell you apply. They will say they come and survey. And in the course of surveying, immediately there's another tenant in Ahmadiyya area around Ainol Street who was paying 27,000 naira for how many bedroom? 2 bedroom. And the moment he asked for meter, they jack it up to 35,000, and they've not given the meter. They just jack his money up. We have him on video. Sir, is that not an offense? And how is the forum making this a capital criminal punishment for especially disco staffs, executive, people like Fred Odogbo in Abule Taylor Service Station, and some other people like Fred?
Let me come in as issue of metering. In fairness to the discos, they are not solely in charge of metering anymore.
Okay.
That is why the meter asset provider order was created by NERC to hand over metering and provisions of meter to an individual, an organization who have been registered as meter asset providers. These are the people that are supposed to, get meter after applying. And what Ikeja Electric or any other electricity distribution company could only do is to liaise with them, because all this meter has codes. You understand? So just to let them have the code of the synergy between them is,
I was coming to synergy.
Yeah, the synergy between the discos and the meter asset providers company is just to have, the meter asset provider company does not know the name, the street of where me and you lives. It is the discos that will provide it. It is the discos that know the kind of line that is in there. So those are the synergy that I understand, I believe is with them. And because they are the one also that know their consumer, they have allowed the discos to do the registration, so to say, the KYC, know your customer system, in order to let the map provider to do it. But like I always say, and I'm saying it, the Nigerianness in us will always lead us to corruption. By virtues of the act or the directive or order on map, it says that after survey and you pay, you have only 10 days before you are metered. But like I took the neck up on this issue, because as a consumer advocacy group, my direct discussions has always been with Dr. Moses Arigu. He is the Commissioner Consumer Affairs, NERC. I asked him, sir, 2 things. Sir, you said we should pay for the meter as consumer. The Act 2005 Electric Power Sector Reformer says that every instrument, line material, everything belongs to the disco. So how can I use my money to buy something and it will now belong to the disco? the question still remain unanswered up to today. Why I said it's unanswered, it's not that you did not give me an answer, but one, your answer is not satisfactory and is not meeting what I asked for, which I can give back as feedback to consumer. There is no way I can easily say that you have answered me. What he said to me was that, Sam, you know very well people are agitating for meter. Let us start first. Fashion out again how. And I reminded him that by virtues of the CAPME they did while Minister Fashola was there in 2016, which says that consumer will pay 64,000 naira, and when you pay that 64,000 naira, Disco will meter you. When Disco did not meter you in 60 days time, you are not supposed to pay for usage, and you are not supposed to be disconnected. Even though not many consumers have that knowledge or are abreast with it, but it's still in black and white. And in that provision, it says that 64,000 naira you pay will be deducted from the recharge that you are making. That is, when you recharge, instead of giving you 10 units, they will give you 100 units. That will have covered part of the money that you use to purchase that meter. But unfortunately, the Nigerians still enter into it. I can say with all sense of responsibility that there are consumers today that pays to Discos, yet there is no blood, there is no mirror, no meter, no refund of the money, and they still bill them. Many of them. In fact, it got to a point that when I'm beginning to receive email from people in my emails, I have to forward it to Dr. Moses Arigu. That was when they now made an order in 2017 that by December 2017 that they should make sure that anyone that have not been refunded, they should use that money to meter them, and they should make a refund where necessary. In fact, they requested that with receipt and everything, they should forward it to me and to forward it to NERC. This thing went like that till today. I know there are some people that pay that money with their receipt in their hand that they have not gotten meter, they did not get money back, and at the same time, they are not compensated. That is the Nigerianness in us. It is the same Nigerianness in us that make NERC to order. You see, this is the area where I intend again to take it up with the NERC. Yeah. There is a customer they call maximum demand customer.
Maximum demand customer.
Yes.
That's MDC.
MDC. So the MD customers are entitled to meter by virtues of the order and directive of the NERC. That was irritated in the consultation letter sent for capping. And if you go through the approval and order of capping, I think under 196 of capping, or 198 rather, 197/2020 of capping, it still reiterates there that every maximum demand customer that has not been metered as at March 31st, 2017, they are not supposed to pay, they are not supposed to be disconnected. So the question is, maximum demand customers are being metered free of charge. How come consumers, larger consumers, are made to pay for meter? We don't know when they are going to refund it. You can see the Nigerianness in these things.
Not really hammer on that capping. What is capping? Nigerians
No, you're coming to the capping. It's coming to capping. The analysis is getting to capping.
You understand? They have not tell us how we are going to get the money back. The issue is still on. The matter is still on.
But why is it difficult for people to get money back? Why?
Well, I don't know. I think they believe that Nigerians are agitated. That Nigerians are, eager to have meter, so that they can get themselves away from the estimated billing.
Because estimated billing is really bad. You see, let me tell you, sir, why it is bad. Because we tried hard before we got you. We were looking for you for like 2 months, and you are busy all over the country. But let me tell you, and I want to thank you for the opportunity, despite the challenge of the time. You see, people carry ladder to people's house. We've shown video whereby disco boys fought with customers. Housewife beating a NEPA official because he bought outrageous bill and he want to remove the light by all costs. I can show you some videos here.
I have all those videos.
Okay, now
There are some videos that even led to the fact that after they fought themselves, let me call it halfway now, after they fought themselves, both the staffers of the discos and the consumer have to, like, after the man fell down the star, one of the staffers of the disco, he left him there and went inside to go and bring cutlass. You understand? I saw that video, and that was one of the reasons why we wrote a match to Ikeja Electric precisely, and a co-distribution.
No, Ikeja Electric appears to be the worst culprit.
Well, I don't know about that, but I want
from the videos we see outside.
I want to generalize.
Okay, sir.
All the Electricity Consumer Protection Forum is for all power sector stakeholders.
Okay, sir.
And all consumers.
Okay, sir.
So, 1 infraction, 2 infraction, 5 infraction, all are infractions. You know that.
I agree, sir.
Yeah. So we cannot quantify infractions. So what I am trying to say is this: by the time that letter we wrote to them, we told them that if charging people that fought your staffers to court will be able to curb this thing, it would have been curbed, because until the source of sickness is dealt with, you may also just be treating the symptom. So charging them to court is just the symptoms. People will get agitated. People will get angry. Understanding of what you are doing matter most. But I think it is because of this coronavirus that may have stalled that interaction. Because we said we are ready to synergize with you in this area as the capping is coming, as we thought that there is going to be an increase in electricity tariff. So as in that of April.
So there was one for July.
No,
and
there was one for April.
Okay, April, yeah, you're right.
That of April is supposed to take place, but we wrote, all the Consumer Protection Forum wrote to.
But they are increasing, sir.
Just hold on, sir. Okay. All the Consumer Protection Forum wrote to NERC that with the advent of coronavirus, will it be justifiable again for you to approve increase in tariff in April? That will take place in April 1st. I have all the chart, I have all the letter, and Dr. Modi Dari would have to tell me that because of what I just wrote to them, they have called for an emergency meeting, which is on the 30th of March.
That was the same day that your boy, the Fred guy, locked a lot of people.
Yeah. So on the 30th of March was when they called for that emergency meeting. In fact, he told me that they are in the office because of what we said. Yes. And that was when before 1st of April, on the 31st of April, as soon as they concluded and they sent letter out to the discos to the fact that there will not be any increase, they are shifting it to July, blah blah, he copied my office. I still have the copy is here. He copied us and he said we have dealt with what point you raised. You know, that's why I said for whatever it is, they have indulged all Electricity Consumer Protection Forum, and it is for good, because to them, from all, they are getting feedback. From us, we are able to let them realize that you don't run foul of the law, a la cartel, willingly. If there is going to be any reason why you are going to shift away from what the operational law says, it must be clear to all that, oh, this is an inevitable thing. So as soon as that was done, they put pails to April 1st increase. And so we are now looking up to July. But funny enough, in the letter they sent out that period, that letter in one of the paragraphs indicates that any discos that may ask for increase in tariff must write with the intention of showing what improvement he has made in all of the line materials and other things that they are supposed to do to improve service. Do you understand? It's there in black and white. It's there. Do you understand? In black and white. I didn't write it. It was written by the NERC. That was the letter they used to stop the April increase. So when they came in, when July is approaching and they said they want to increase again, that was why you see NERC keeping quiet.
Okay.
NERC did not say
indifference.
Yes. Become indifferent. NERC kept quiet. Why? Because we were able to get to them in their mails that you are the one that said this, And you said also that one of the reasons why you cancelled the April 1st increase was because majority of the consumer that attend the consumer forum did not agree or see any reason why any increase should take place in consonant with section 76 subsection 7 paragraph 8 of Electric Power Sector Reform Act 2005, which says that before increase can take place there will be a stakeholder meeting in which all stakeholders, including consumers, which are the major recipients, agreed to it before such increase can be approved. Sure, you understand? So, and NERC did not say go ahead. We saw discourse advertising saying about this is what they want to do. We too will not say anything. You understand? We are waiting for NERC, because if there is no directive from NERC, that letter of March 31st cannot subsist, because some of the provisions there has hampered them from implementing even the July one that they put there for them. We saw it. We have saw the lacuna. We have saw the loopholes, and our legal advisor have seen it too. We have already concluded, Oga, we know what to do. So we are waiting for NERC to issue another directive and say from 1st of July, this thing will take place. So that was it. And by the time we know it, Oga Gbajabi Amila and others, they met together and they said it is not feasible until 2021 May. You understand now? So thank God for them and thank God for the intervention. So coming to capping.
Before capping, yes.
They have increased it.
Sir, they've increased
by 150%. Like where they are giving 6,000 before is now 14,000. No. So where they are giving 14,000 before, no, it's now 30-something thousand.
Sir, it is not possible.
It's happening. It's happening.
No, it is not.
The tariff increase has come into being indirectly.
It has come indirectly, sir. And we have to let you know, sir.
No, give me my phone, please.
Okay.
We have to let you know, sir.
No, it cannot come in indirectly.
No, they are giving. Where the bill, they are billing us.
No, it's what is happening.
Look, sir. Let me show you something.
I have something to do that will give way to what you are saying, whether it is right or not. I want to look at this.
Since May, it has happened since May.
No, so you can see that it is not possible for such increase to be. Hold on, don't let us argue this thing. May I talk in facts? I talk in reality. I don't talk in fictions. I talk in what I know, what I can defend, and what when I say it, nobody will come and say you have misled the people. I'm coming to let you know that I did not believe that anybody's increased price have turned. Why I check the unit price before you say there is an increase.
Okay, let me do that.
Check the unit price.
I'm coming, let me do
the unit price that will determine. When I talk about capping, you will see why this astronomical increase is abnormal. And by virtue of our effort, we have been able to make sure that the people that intends to hear, or the CDAs, the letter made by the General Secretary has gone viral, including even the disco saw it, the challenger, and they were like, why this and that. You understand my point? So it is not a question. Okay, if they have increased it, and you said it's from May, it's not from May, from March bill, not May. Look at this. Let's look at the unit price. Unit price is what will let you know whether they increase or not. What is the unit price?
Okay, I'll supply that now.
I'm looking at one. I'm looking for the unit price here.
For Ikeja Electric.
What a bill somebody here is just 4,500. So I don't know.
No, that is not.
Okay, sir. Should we look at unit price for approved tariff rates for residential consumers?
No. For anybody that have collected bill, any of this month, because the man said that they have indirectly increased because of the cost or because of the current charges they are giving to people.
So I want to agree with him because I have a fact.
Yes, there's a fact here.
The fact I want to have, sir, ma, is only the unit price that will give me.
The number of consumption and the unit price.
That is not increase in tariff. Please don't mislead the people.
Sir.
That is not increase. Consumption, they might increase the kilowatt. And that is the area where you came in, you wrote letter when I was indisposed, that to tell people that the pricing, the capping is this, that regardless of the kilowatt they will write there, and people are doing it. That is not an increase in tariff.
No.
Increase in tariff has to do with the unit price of every bill.
The price is still at 21 naira.
So don't say that is.
That is still at the approved tariff as at February 20, 2020.
So that is not.
It has gone up.
No, don't let us mix things up, please. Don't let us mix things up.
Speaking on technical grounds.
No, not technical. People are watching, or people are going to watch at the end of the day.
Yes.
Don't let us create a kind of a dichotomy that will cause, or embarrass the government or embarrass NERC. The unit price is where you know whether you have an increase in tariff. That the consumption kilowatt increase is not the same as increase in tariff. Exactly. Consumption kilowatt will increase as a result of supply made to you, quote and unquote. Are you getting my point? When I say quote and unquote, it means that it's either it is the real or imagine. So some of these kilowatt you are seeing is imagine, and that is the area where I said the capping method take place. Are you with me?
Okay.
Capping method come to be to suppress this kind of imaginary kilowatt billing.
Okay, let me ask you the question now. That what does capping mean, and what is it to achieve? What does it seem to achieve for Nigerians, and how can it maximize this crazy bill, especially the bill?
Capping method came to be as a result of agitation, advocacy of people like us, telling NERC that even your own estimated methodologies that you prepare for them, they are not following it. This was made to be reality in a co-hotel where we have a kind of a forum with the commissioner of NERC, including even the NERC chairman. The commissioner for finance for NERC mentioned it in anger that even the methodology given to discos, they are not using it. That is the estimated methodology given to discos. Are you getting my point? So in the spirit of that was what led to issue of capping. And what is it about capping? Capping is a way of cautioning imaginary, exorbitant, and skyrocketed kind of kilowatt issuing to people monthly, which is not in tandem and in correspondence with the usage. We would discover that a place where you have said a day on, 2 days on, 1 day off.
Yeah.
And you will still make sure that 2 days on supposed to be 24 hours. It may not even have more than 8 hours.
Yes, in most cases.
Yet you will still bring to them that they have used 1,000 kilowatt. Do you understand? And so that is the area where capping intends to address. Number 2 area where capping intends to address is this: that by capping of billing, I don't want to call it estimated billing, because under paragraph A of the directive orders of capping 198/2020 order of NERC, it says that estimated billing are hereby repealed. So when something has been repealed, it's no longer in existence. Do you understand my point? It's no longer in existence.
So how do ordinary people in Agbade, in Kola, in Alakuko, in Ilepo tell NEPA officials that what you are doing is wrong? It's not in. You just said it now, sir. This is breaking news.
What we have done in our own side as well, Electricity Consumer Protection Forum, is that we have been able to, while I was indisposed during my this thing, when I was sick, the General Secretary and others came together and they come up with a paper or kind of an advocacy letter to all CDAs to intimate them about what capping is all about. One, about regardless of how much they gave them at the end of the month, because immediately that letter came out, all these codes came out with capping template.
How do you mean, sir?
Capping capping template means that because the directive of NERC is that no individual's houses should take more than the maximum of 78 kilowatt per month. You understand? But it did not take into effect the supply on each area. So by the time each disco come up with their capping template, that has covered the supply in each area. Depends on how much of supply they are giving to them.
So maybe a bedroom, maybe a storehouse.
No, not even if I'm talking about area. You know, there are some area. Let me take Abuja for example. Asokoro, Wuse, Maitama. They cannot be the same thing as the people that are living in Kubwa. They are not have the same supply, especially people that are living in Yaya. You know what that they give to people in Yaya? You understand my point? It's not the same kilowatt they give to people in Asokoro, in Maitama, in Wuse too, and Wuse itself. Are you getting my point? Because of the caliber of the people that lives there and the kind of equipment they used in each houses. So each and every disco came out with their own template. Ikeja did, Eko did, Abuja did, EED, Enugu did, BEDC, Benin did, IBDC did its own, and all like that just did. Port Harcourt did their own. All of them did that template, and that template is supposed to form what they will bill everybody as soon as the capping took place. We supposed to have taken place since February 2020. But because you know the way the disco give their bill, they give you in arrears. That is, the monthly bill of February will be given to you in March. Do you understand? So we decided that, okay, since people have collected January in February, by the time that February, which took effect from February 20, take place, by March bill, it is incumbent on you that you will follow that template. That is when you started seeing some kind of different amount of bill given to people that you attend to mean that maybe they have implemented the increase in tariff silently. No, they now go haywire.
What's the meaning of haywire, sir?
Like they just threw caution to the wind. That even the estimated billing, it has been repealed. Now the one they are using now cannot even be defined. Because it is not capping, it's not estimated billing. They cannot use estimated billing because estimated billing has been repealed, and the capping billing which replace estimated billing, in which each and every discourse has come out with their template, they are not using it. So we have seen people that lives in Abule Egba who is supposed to be entitled to 113 kilowatt per month as resident tier 2 with single phase, collecting 46,000 naira, collecting 36,000 naira, collecting 32,000 naira. One of our members, the treasurer of this group, collected 23,000 naira. And I told her, you must not come back and meet me. You can't be in this group. You can't be part of the decision making and executive of this group, and you are telling me, NC, see what they give to me. Whatever they give to you, go and pay if you don't know what to do. And by the time he wrote to them, first of all, what we normally ask people to do is that look at the kilowatt that is within your area. No matter how big and how high the kilowatt they give to you, ignore them. Go and pay that kilowatt. After you pay that kilowatt, write a letter that you are not that you are contesting, you are rejecting. Because what they give to you is an ultra-bias. It's in contrary to the directive and the order on capping, which says that estimated billing has been repealed. And if the estimated billing has been repealed and you are bring out a template on your own, in which signify that in Abule Egba Azizo, this is what we will be billing them. In Ikeja, this is what we will be billing them. Then if it's Eko, in Ajao, this is what we will be billing them. In Ikoyi, this is what we will be billing them. But you bypass both the two. The one that have been repealed and the one that's supposed to be in order, and you are coming out with your own, then nobody is to argue with you. Just follow. As long as this directive is from NERC, follow it, pay it, write to them, you will get the bill, attach the letter that we wrote out, which we attach their template on, attach to it, then we copy as many people the directive of the NERC, the letter that repeal estimated billing and give, teeth to capping, and they attach it to it. To the glory of God, none of the discos have refused them. None. Even the same Ikeja Electric that you are hammering on, they never refuse. And And if wherever they disconnect before, they went back to go and connect it. The only thing I know, any of the discos that are being infracting this law, knowing is because they are capitalizing on the ignorance of the people. And we didn't stop there. We wrote to NERC. I have the copy. I have the reply of the NERC. We wrote to NERC. Oga, has capping stopped, or have you issue another directive that we don't know? These are the experiences of consumers, and immediately they receive that letter and they reply us. They create a web in which all consumers can attach their receipt and report. That report and the sending of those documents to them was what led to writing letter of 14 days to many discos that infractions that capping, in order to show cause why they will not be punished. As at last week, I got a message also from Dr. Moses Arigu, the Commissioner for Consumer Affairs NERC, that they have replied. Are you getting my point now? Yes, that they have replied. So, having replied, we are now waiting what the next step will do. In fact, on our email between me and Dr. Moses Arigu, we actually exchanging a lot of mails, interval within seconds to seconds. That I have to tell him, sir, despite the fact that these people have been written letter to, they are 7s in number. They have not even stopped giving people more curious estimated billing. That despite the letter, to the extent that they are supposed to be sanctioned on the infraction they have done before, they are still issuing out their bill that is outrageously, criminal. That in a situation whereby somebody is getting 76,000, I know I have somebody that messaged me yesterday, Oga, help us. So we heard about your group. Oga, waiting up. He messaged me, and he said they are giving him 102,000 naira, 126,000 naira. And he has been paying 78,000. Sometimes he pay half, more than half. And he said I should help him. I said, no, I don't know much about law, but I know one of the maxims of the law: volunteer not fitting injuria. He who give consent to injury does not complain. They give you a bill, you are living in a 3-bedroom bungalow, and they are giving you 126,000 naira per month, and you didn't complain. You are paying it. And what do you want me now to do? Nobody can challenge that one for you. And he said he's doing it because he doesn't want them to disconnect him. Okay. Then why? You don't need to ask for any rebate. Continue to pay. Because I said it's like there's something you are hiding. That house must have some equipment that you don't want people to know, but they have already know. Because I cannot imagine, even in the real sense of it, the factory does not even get
up to 100,000.
Up to 100,000.
Not even a bread factory or a water factory.
And so if you as an individual is having 126,000 naira, he lives in Ketu. I have the message here. It's not something that is hidden. I can bring it out and show it. It's a chat on WhatsApp. So I don't know what is behind this current and recent, flagrant disobedience to capping method. But since NERC is already intervened, like I said, our interface have always now been with the NERC. And the next interface that we have is with the people, to educate them, to enlighten them, to let them know that they have right. Last week, Saturday, we were still in one community in Sala, in Ijude. You understand? And we have a kind of a robust, with vintage to Mr. Victor, one of you. You see, as you have them bad, so you have them good. The Ikeja Electric undertaking for Iju, Mr. Victor, is a young man. He's a listening man. He's a man that he behaves himself truly as somebody that realized that where he's sitting, somebody was there before. It was at that place I told him that this place you are sitting on, you know how you get to that seat. I know you must have been somewhere before, but somebody has to leave that seat, taken to another place. It is one man called Mr. Bright. The day Mr. Adelakun resumed in the new office of Abule Egba was the day we called for a meeting of Okearo people, that he had to come down there. Immediately he saw me, he said, my mind is set to now that I see my friend, I cannot lie here. That's the truth. Thank God, General Secretary was there. The same Lagos State coordinator, they were all there. And after he said all he had to say, I told him, I said, Mr. Bright history and report before me, it's nothing to write home about. Almost every individuals and community complain and show how uncared, inhuman he has been. And for us to have peace, and for you and I to work together as we always be, because when he was in Ikeja here, I was one of those people that work with him, my group with Oluwole people, when the Oluwole has problem with him, you know, I have to come in and intervene, and eventually we became friends. So I said, with this, the best I can ask you to do is to let Mr. Bright leave that place, because we can no longer work together. And for a man that knows that the consumers friendly atmosphere will enhance his job, he did what we asked. And that was what I told Victor. I said, you don't know, you just saw that they said you should come and sit down there. Immediately Mr. Adeola can resume. No, we are the one that asked Bright to go another place, because Otindo Rumua. You understand my point? So as you have Fred that is notorious, so we have other people too that are good among them. We have histories and we have knowledge of people that we have dealt with, and immediately we report fault to them, they will quickly answer to it. We have one also in Okera here, Yemisi. Let me see, if I call Yemisi now and say, Madam, this place have not had light. He said nobody has report. Oga, they will come and do it. And it's not by mouth. Because what I will ask her is that, do you want me to step in? Or you will quickly? I said, okay, they will come that nobody has reported. We have them like that. We have one Mrs. Olaoye somewhere in Magboro before. He was once here, Magodo. He was once here in Okera here.
So our friends own is becoming. Communities stood up. More than 5 communities said they don't want him. Here the Ikeja Electric still put him in Abuletindo.
Maybe you have not written for the Ikeja Electric executive to have an understanding why you don't want them. Again, I want you to know that every organization will want to retain anybody that can do cash drive for them. Regardless of the complaint, they will think that it's because he's doing the job very well, that's why people are complaining. Maybe until they see the untoward, which we always campaign against, which is violent.
So we had videos of people that were being delayed outside the gates. People want to see him, elderly people. Say, "One year."
This coronavirus.
Sometimes even before the corona.
During this coronavirus is a standard rule that at least anybody have to maintain.
We're talking about March.
And by March, is it not March 27 that they stop us from going out again? It's not 27 now. So all I know is that Mr. Fred is working for Ikeja Electric. But Mr. Fred is working for Ikeja Electric because they thought he was doing what is good and making money for them by terrorizing the consumer. If the community let them know and let the management of Ikeja Electric knows that Mr. Fred is no longer serving the interest of Ikeja Electric, because one of the interests and the greatest interest of Ikeja Electric is the consumer.
Yes, because
every consumer can just decide that while you even giving all that light before, come and remove your wire. There will be no invoice, there will be no income from that area anymore. Are you getting my point? Yes, so to me, I believe Mr. Fred is not above the law. And let me come in briefly in that area. If there is any community that witness mass disconnection, don't resort to violence. That was what we told them. I told them at that community we went last Saturday. The law is there. It is the same law that empower them to charge you and to arrest you for illegal connection and energy theft. It is that same law that empower you and make illegal disconnection a criminal offense. Section 11 of Disconnections and Connections Schedule 2007 under Electric Power Sector Reform Act says that upon conviction, so what is conviction? It's not when you are charged. And Section 94 of Electric Power Sector Reform Act says that if anyone or individual go against the provisions of this law, it's a criminal offense and is entitled to 1 year imprisonment as a first offender, 3 years imprisonment as a second offender. So you can see, it's just because laws sometimes are lying fallow.
And not utilized.
That's why
I'm not putting into power.
Even the Bible says that if judgments are not expedient speedily, the heart of men tends to do evil. So many of the things that I expected the disco to be doing is to enlighten people about their obligation, enlighten them about their service and the way of doing their services. But Nigerians will not let them do it. Is it the disco that don't want to obey the template that they themselves release? Is that the one that you want him to obey the directive of the NERC? Or you want them to tell the people that, oh, okay, oh, from March, oh, the capping has said that we should be paying this thing. Do you see the rate, the way they are advertising increase in electricity tariff?
Yes, and they are so fast in that.
You can see the rate at which they are bringing to the knowledge of the people. My Egbon was going from one television or the other, telling us about the kind of reason why we must accept the increase in electricity tariff. But do you see that in every leaflet and every jingles that any of the disco did, they never mention capping there?
It is so funny, sir.
Do you see that they always advertise that don't do electricity theft, don't do energy theft, don't connect illegally, don't do this, don't do that? Do you see them ever talk about illegal disconnection before?
No, sir.
So that is the Nigerianness in us. That is the Nigerianness in us. That is the way things are in this country. And I want you to tell you that government cannot see everything. What we can't do is what we are doing. We can't do beyond what the financial capacity of our members are. Nobody is supporting us. Nobody is sponsoring us. The general secretary is here. The day you go and pick the representative of minister during our summit in 2019, what did he tell you? He said, are you sure that this thing is individual or self-sponsored? Because what he saw was like, what? That individual can do this or a group can do this without being sponsored. You know, he told them, he said, yes, this is what we are. This is what we have been doing. You understand? So to me, I just believe that this is the summit.
Okay.
This is the summit.
Yeah, it's a successful one.
This is it. All you are seeing there now, they are all members. This is the commissioner for. You see, this is the commissioner for consumers affairs.
Yeah.
That is another commissioner for finance, both of NERC. Engineer, what is the name of that man? Came to represent. Is in charge. Is the director in charge of distribution? Yes.
The director in charge of distribution.
Engineer Iziaputa.
Yes, the director in charge of these are people. You will see many people there. This is me beside Dr. This thing. You can see this is the engineer that represents the minister. Are you getting my point? So what we can do is what we are doing. See people. These are people seated in that place.
Yeah, at the hall.
Yeah, the reason why we cannot have it this year is because of coronavirus. You can see a lot of people are here. This is the representative, one of the representatives of the Oba, one of the highest chief in Ilesha. Just to come and yes, because of what we did in Ilesha. You understand my point? So we cannot we gave see, this is here.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah.
You understand? We can't do more than what our capacity can be. This is the capping method of Abuja Electric. You can see the way they did their own. They have even calculated the money and the amount you are expecting to pay every month. See. And when you look at the people that they give letter to, Abuja Electric is not there. Because they obey the capping. Ibadan Electric is not there because they obey the capping.
But why is Ikeja Electric not?
It's not only Ikeja Electric. There are 7 in number that refuses to. It's not only Ikeja Electric. I know you are particular about Ikeja Electric because maybe you live around there or because of the incident of whatever you might have seen. But it's not only Ikeja Electric. This is the capping. Yeah. This is the capping for Abuja. Methodology. No, template. Capping template for Abuja. They even did it to the point that the money that is accrued to you.
But the money is so small. We have 7,602. We have the highest maybe 16,000. 91 Yasukuru.
Yes.
Then 2,000. Some are even 8,620. Some are 4,189.
Yes, because that is the spirit of capping method. In order to force the people that is metering to meter people. That's why in that capping method, like I said the other time, they make it again an offense for any consumer that refuse to be metered. That your light will be taken away. Do you understand? These are things that I believe if everybody have a copy, we are not going to see. This is what we now wrote out at the end of the day to let the consumer know that you have the right to reject completely any bill that is not in accordance with this template. We didn't do the template. Every disco come out with their template. That is Ikeja template there. I will show you.
You mean this Ikeja Electric template?
Yes. You will see Abule Egba having 113 kilowatt. You will see Ikorodu having less. You will see people that are in Hybro in Ikeja. You will see Ikeja people having like 207 328 kilowatt for three phase meter house. Single phase meter house is 113 that I showed you the other time.
Yes, sir.
You understand? So any disco that is now giving more than this, then the people need to challenge for every area that they are covering. You will see it there. That's a good disco.
So people can recourse to these documents
Exactly.
to correct and educate the discos to get the accurate.
It's a legal document. We didn't make it. We made it in reference to Order 197/2020 of February 2020 issued by NERC for capping method.
And repealing the
estimated billing. That's why I said I don't know where they are now getting their bill they are churning out to people.
This is a breaking news, sir.
The estimated billing have been repealed. The capping method is not used, and then what you are giving is more than the capping method and estimated billing put together. So we don't know.
Can we call it juju method, sir?
I don't know. The NERC will have to answer them because they have issued them letter to the fact that they need to know why they have to fail to implement capping order.
Okay, but the issue of estimated billing now, how do they come about the consumption? Like in a building where they are a particular flat that they say is unestimated, they are not even consuming what the metered.
It's the same thing we are saying, Oga. You are just taking us back.
Yes, the same thing.
Every houses that are single phase, if you are living in a certain area, the templates have been done by the disco themselves.
For estimated.
Yes, it's here.
There is nothing like estimated anymore.
There's not that it's capping.
I am saying it wholeheartedly, and by virtues of the directive and the order of NERC 197/2020, it is not possible for any disco to say is using estimated billing, because in that paragraph A of their directive, it is written in black and white, estimated billing has been repealed. Do you understand my point? So if that, and it has been replaced with capping order. So what's supposed to be in place now is capping order. And each and every disco came out with their capping template. I've shown you that of Abuja.
Yes,
if you look at the letter written out for them to respond why they are using capping template, Abuja is not there. Ibadan Electric is not there. I have members in Ibadan Electric axis of franchise. They never complain. You understand? We don't have JOS there. The 7 ones that are there are Kaduna, Port Harcourt, BEDC, EEDC, Ikeja Electric, a co-distribution company, and another one. Out of 11, 4.
Enugu.
And that's why I call EEDC.
Okay.
So that is just it. It is a simple logic according to that letter to say that they want it to facilitate metering of the people.
But sir, you have given us one of the breaking news today, and because that's one of the reasons we're looking for you for almost 2 months now. And the next question I want to ask before we round up is that people will ask, how do we get this document from you, and is there a number on your forum that people can call to ask for their right? Because it appears that you have automatically become a bridge between the consumer and the service provider, and they want to stakeholder, yes.
Because the service provider, we are supposed to be a bridge between the service provider, the NERC, the regulatory body, but sometimes there is no service provider that will see you talking about that which they are doing, which is inimical, and they want you, they see you as you want to stop them, that they will not want to fight back. So more or less, they are not on their own, they are not operating on their own also. They are subject to the authority of regulatory body. They are also their operation is also subject to the directive and order of the regulatory body vis-a-vis the operational law, which is Electric Power Sector Reformer 2005. So to us, we will continue to educate the people. We will continue to liaise with the NERC. If any disco, like if you see our summit, that of 2018, 2017, all discos are present. If you look at this year own, because we give them a plaque for award of excellency, or no, participation award for some of the discos speakers. You will see in the photo, if I have not deleted it, you will see in that photo many of them collecting the plate. That means they are present. They give, because what we do in our summit is that we will give them topic based. If we are to do this year now, capping may be the headlines of the team. Okay. And then we will now tell them to educate the people why capping is not feasible, why capping is inimical to your operational system, like that, and they will talk about it. That has always been what we have been doing all this while.
So you build a formidable team for discourse.
Yes, we have Professor Yemi Oke at one point in time. That is Dr. Ojoy Ogaji. That is the Executive Secretary, Association of Generation Company. He came in 2018. He came also last year, so that we have an education also about generation. You know, Nigeria is only limited to disco. They don't know what is into generation. I know. My members may know, maybe when I educate them. They don't know anything about transmission. Do you understand? Because the disco is like the police that is closer to the people. That is exactly what makes people not. But what we do is to bridge that gap, that you come and be educated by the people in the power sector. Let the disco tell you some of the problems they are facing, why they cannot easily serve you, seamlessly, and the support they need from you. So that's all what we do.
Okay. So rounding up now, can you tell us some of the challenges in terms of trying to cut you? Because a lot of Nigerians believe that this work we are doing is not easy. People try to befriend you and try to keep the truth from circulating. You are doing the job of a truth sayer. So, sir, how have you been able to, with that kind of attack on your life, both spiritually, physically, and what are those things that you have faced that you want to share with people as a Nigerian and as an African fighting for the rule of light? Because the Bible says, let there be light. But in Nigeria, it's like light is so scarce and expensive. So what does it mean to sit on this hot seat?
Let me say that I will answer biblically.
Okay.
Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord God delivered them from them all. The Lord is the covering of my head in the days of battle. And as much as I know, there is nothing I can say than to say God has been faithful, regardless of. The book of Psalms says that, let my integrity and my uprightness preserve me. Do you understand? So as far as I'm concerned, if you are doing that which is to make the people life better, some of the discos or other stakeholders, they are also consumers after they leave the office. Let me give you an example. February 10, 2016, I have the opportunity of being with the Committee on Power, both the Senate and House of Rep. That was when we were in court. I presented a position paper before them with President of Labour and Mr. Kaigama, the TUC president. We were all there at the National Assembly chamber. And what I know that happened that time was that even the Minister of State for Power, in his house in Kaduna, he brought the bill into that meeting. They gave me 73,000, me that is in Abuja. What I'm trying to say is that when I was talking to the former minister, Babatunde Raji Fashola, in one of our meetings, each time I want to talk to them, I said, even you are my consumer. You are part of me. You are a member of my group. Why? Because as long as you remain a consumer, and we are all Electricity Consumer Protection Forum, they can be there today because they can have access to power and to electricity. When they leave the place tomorrow, they will still come back and be a consumer who will bear the brunt of whether the good they do while they were there or the bad they do while they are there. I was at NERC Forum at one day, and I met a woman, a former staff of NEPA, coming to complain about one disco. And I laugh. No, it's not funny.
It's funny, sir.
It's not. And I laugh. I said, ma'am, If a big woman and I was this thing of NEPA, and they are giving me, I just laugh. I said, may God let you get justice. No, it's not funny. Because I look at it that, why this?
The irony of life.
I'm telling you. So it's the same thing. We are not doing it for pecuniary gain. If I want to do it for pecuniary gain, by now my office should be in Aja or Lekki. My house too should be somewhere where anybody cannot reach me. Where it's only dog that will be answering you when you knock the door. I'm serious. Is it like that?
Oh, Magoro phase 1, phase 2.
In fact, I cannot even live in Magoro. I can't live in Magodo. I would rather live in GRA Ikeja or live in Lekki. If I run for water, I don't want water to carry me. I'll go to Banana Island. You understand? But for everything a man does, it is the work of your hand that will answer for you. And that has been the spirit behind every step, every move that we made at all Electricity Consumer Protection Forum. We are not against anyone. I told the MD of Ikeja Electric one day, I said, sir, do you know that we are supposed to be best of friends? You are supposed to have synergy with us, in which that before you say anything, we will be the first to say it for you. But because we are now looking at a two parallel line that cannot meet because of divergence of view, intention, and whatever may be the operational system that may not be in tandem to what the people want. But if that has been taken away, we are supposed to be friends. All the Electricity Consumer Protection Forum supposed to be friend of all disco. We are supposed to be the mouthpiece of the disco against even the NERC. You understand? Yeah. That if any of the order or directive of the NERC is to impede the enjoyment of free flows of light or power that we are enjoying, we are supposed to stand against them and say, NERC, you will go through us before you go to the disco. Are you getting my point? Yes, like the Bible says, my life is in Christ in God. So if you want to get me, you first of all go through Christ. Then before you get to God, then you can get me. So we are supposed to be that kind of person, that kind of organization, that kind of advocacy group between the discos and the NERC. We are not supposed to have anything to do with NERC. We are supposed to be watching NERC with eagle eye. When they messed up, we say, Oga, you cannot put burden on disco. They are the one giving us good light. They are the one giving us meter. They are the ones supplying us and making us to enjoy what we are enjoying. So if you want to deal with them, you deal with us first. We can organize protests en masse and enter inside bus and go to Abuja. If Abuja is their major place, that they can handle this thing. So what we do, what we supposed to do, and I'm using this medium to tell every discos, every stakeholders, we are not enemy. We are supposed to be friends. We are supposed to be the one that will be acting for you before the regulatory body. All we are asking you to do is to make consumer happy. Once consumer is happy, we will be happy. We also be happy with you. Our synergy will be so solid that no provisions of the government or that of the regulatory body that will affect your operation that we will not stood against, even if it means going to court against them. That is the way we are registered. We are incorporated trustee registered to be part of formulations of policy implementation, be in charge of consumers' rights, and at the same time help to see that there is a similar provision of power supply without encroaching on each other's right. That is what all Electricity Consumer Protection stand for. That is what we have been doing. We are not enemy. We are supposed to be partner in progress to provide what God says in Genesis chapter 1, let there be light.